Hi guys, thank you very much for coming back to my page. I've had lots more questions sent to me, so we're going to get started and answer them in a minute. Beard's gone, but the knowledge is still here, so let's get going. Okay, first question today. All right, we've already gone through how we train, you're preparing for a competition. It comes to competition day. What should I do to warm up at the competition, and what kind of food should I be eating to keep my energy levels high really for the whole day? So, warming up for strongman competition is never that simple. You get to these competitions and all of a sudden you find out there's nothing perfect to warm up with, you don't have enough weights, you're being rushed from event to event and you don't have time to prepare for things. So, what I've always tried to do myself, the first thing I try and do at a competition, especially when there's not an awful lot of chance to warm up with the actual equipment or that many weights, I do a lot of plyometrics. I try and get my body, my muscle fibers firing as much as possible. So I do a little bit of running and then bounding, body weight squats, jumps, skipping, anything that involves getting me kind of moving quite quickly, and also trying to get my receptors ready to basically deal with these events that we've got to do. You sometimes see me before certain events and I get very, very fired up. Other events it's better to stay calm. But if you see me doing a farmer's walk or a yoke, you see me kind of bouncing before I've even got to the equipment. I'm kind of just trying to get my kind of body ready to just click into action as soon as I need to. So warming up, I'd be kind of, maybe some sprints across a field just to get the body warm. Lots of jumping, kind of go down into a squat, jump up, get the muscles firing. So I'm not using much weight, but my own body weight, trying to explode up off the floor, get as high as I can, so I know the muscles in the legs are kind of warmed up. You also kind of see me hitting my legs sometimes. Again, that's to just try and get the blood in the area and get myself warmed up. If you do have the luxury of equipment to warm up with and your competition can strip the weights off, you get that chance, then definitely by all means do it. Do a couple of short runs, say it was a farmer's walk or a yoke, maybe a pick up on the farmer's walk. The yoke I'd probably do a couple of very small runs, no more than 5 meters, just getting used to the weight on my back and getting my legs moving quickly. More standard events like a deadlift or a log, those type of events, you tend to have the opportunity to warm up with first. Not so much sometimes if it's a log for reps. I always try and just keep my reps low on warm-ups, as I would in training. If you've ever seen my kind of training advice, or you've trained with me, or I've done other interviews, I always keep the warm-ups pretty low anyway, nothing more than 5 reps, but again, moving the weight as quickly as possible. So say, we'll take deadlift for an example. I probably put 60 kilos on the bar, 5 nice quick reps, 100 kilos, again, 5 reps. Then from about 140 kilos, I'll probably do 2 or 3 reps. That would be it for the whole way up, warming up. A lot of the time I don't get the luxury of kind of going through those stages of 60, 140, 180. Sometimes I've done competitions, you've got 100 kilos, 200 kilos, time to go and lift in the competition. So it is very difficult sometimes in strongman contests where the organisation isn't perfect for the warm-up scene. So it is important, if you can, to do all those kind of plyometric exercises to get your body ready for this kind of activity. Strongman's a dangerous sport. All sports are dangerous in some respect, but always try to get yourself warmed up. Plyometrics works best for me because it's kind of exploding the muscles ready for big work rather than like static stretching. I'd rather kind of stretch more kind of after a competition than before. I just like to get my body moving beforehand. For keeping your energy up during the day, I always try and have a good meal the night before. I'm kind of lucky I don't have the body weight issues some of you guys might have. So under 90 kilos, under 105 kilos, a lot of respect for you guys because I don't have to worry about that. But if we just talk about how I do things, I try to get a good meal the night before. If it's a big competition, I tend to get nervous on the day, so I struggle to eat during a competition. So I'll try and get a good breakfast in me, even if it's just something simple like porridge oats with a protein shake in there, some good types of fats. I tend to stick some Udo's oil in my protein shake in the morning, and a bit of fruit. And then during the day, literally just anything that's going to give me some fast energy, things like bananas, flapjacks, sports drinks, like Lucozade Sport or the different isotonic drinks you can get. But just small kind of nibbles throughout the day, almost after each event. I'm trying to just get a little bit of food in me just to maintain that energy. If you're dieting properly throughout the rest of your kind of training program, it's not the end of the world if you're not eating your 6 meals in a day at a competition. You know, it's almost impossible to anyway. So just try and get those foods that are going to give you the energy to get you through the competition. You know, it's something that took me a while to learn. I'd go to competitions, and the first two events I'd be great. By the third event, I'd be tired. You know, the energy is zapping throughout the whole day. You might have your best event as the last event, but you're so drained that you can't perform. So it's really important, you know, to keep that energy level up throughout the whole day. Just little snacks, little and often. Okay, another question I'm getting a lot at the moment. I think I've confused people over the last few months. What are my plans over the next few months and next year, basically? A lot of people think I've retired from Strongman, which is absolute rubbish. I've just kind of decided not to compete and try and do it professionally, if you like. I was trying to compete 15, 20 times a year, killing my body, and my performance, I was getting injured, and my performance has gone down on what I expect from myself. So I've decided to step back from all the smaller competitions and focus on what matters. Things like World's Strongest Man, Europe's Strongest Man, and obviously winning Britain's Strongest Man is very important to myself. I expect to win at least 3 more titles, so I'm not going anywhere just yet. You've also seen I've been doing a bit of bodybuilding training. So I'm going to do that till Christmas. I'm just trying to give my body a break from the heavy lifting, basically. And it's also, you know, I've started a personal training business at the moment, so I personally want to try and get in better shape for that, to show people I'm not just about power and strength, which is obviously my speciality, and I love it. You know, it's my joy, but I want to try and set myself different goals as well. It's nice to have kind of different goals. I've also got a few conditioning targets. I've been on the Concept 2 rower. You might have seen my video where I did a 1 minute 19 row. I'm hoping to go under 118 by Christmas time, and I've had a lot of good advice from people on how to improve my technique and my performance on that. After Christmas, I'm looking at doing a raw powerlifting competition, probably about March time. I want to give myself kind of a good 12 weeks to prepare for it. I've never been able to do that with all the strongman training and competitions I've done in the past, and I've set myself a target of trying to hit 1,000 kilos in a raw competition. So that would be a big achievement, just something personal that I'd like to do. And then I'll get back into my strongman competitions and training after that. Who's my favourite strongman ever? It's a really difficult question. We've all got different favourites. I used to love watching guys like Bill Kazmaier, you know, when I was little. His intensity was just ridiculous. I loved the powerful physique that he had, and kind of, you know, the belief he had in himself always impressed me. Going through the years, I guess when I was a little boy, I used to love Magnus Samuelsson. He was kind of a big idol for me, watching Strongman in the 90s. You know, this big tall Swede, and you know, he's pretty good on the camera, and back then Strongman wasn't quite as heavy as it is now, so obviously, like, we know the kind of strength levels that the sport's got up to these days, but Magnus was entertaining, and I enjoyed watching him. Sven Carlson, he was another great one to watch. Used to always love watching Sven compete, and obviously get to meet him now. That's been really cool. Then I guess Marius, you know, Marius took strongman to a completely another level. The guy was an unbelievable athlete. I was lucky enough to compete against him a few times, even beat him at a few events, so that was nice. But it was great to see someone like that take it to another level again. And then you got like guys that compete now. I mean, you know, Derek Poundstone, he took it to another level with how extreme he is with his training and discipline. And then you got Zydrunas. You know, Zydrunas to me is the best strongman of all time. The guy's got countless world records. His strength is unbelievable. His movement for such a big guy is unbelievable. His record is just second to none. He's won everything there is to win. You know, I think most competing strongmen would class him as the best strongman ever. And that's certainly my opinion. Another question I get asked is what's Zydrunas like? You know, I've said how great a strongman he is, and we all know how good he is, but what's he actually like in person? Honestly, he's a very funny guy. He's got like a dry sense of humour, always makes guys laugh at competitions, has a hell of a lot of self-confidence, as you would being that strong, but is also very humble with it as well, and just a lovely guy to be around. Okay, the last question we're going to look at today is how I train my grip. and grip strength in general. These days I'm actually quite lucky that I don't have to train my grip ball that often. I might work at it if I've got a certain event coming up in a contest, but I have spent a lot of time training my grip in the past. When I used to live in Gloucester, I was lucky enough to live by a guy called Steve Gardner. He's a grip competitor, and he showed me a lot of kind of interesting ways to train grip. And then I met Nick McKinless, who, if you follow me regularly, you know he's someone I've looked up to a long time. He's kind of helped me a lot in my career, and is also another grip expert, as well as David Horn. He's multiple-time British grip champion, and all three of those guys give me a lot of good advice on grip training. Luckily, it was kind of a natural strength of mine to start with. My natural strength has always been my legs, my back, and my grip. I've worked a lot on other areas, but I've been able to improve the grip by getting this great advice from these guys. And what you have to think of with Strongman is what you need grip for. So we need to hold on to bars, basically. Things like farmer's walks, Hercules holds, where you're kind of holding on for dear life, basically. You've got this weight trying to stretch you apart. The other areas where you need grip strength would be to clean a thick bar, like on an axle, and even on an arm-over-arm truck pull or something like that, where you're kind of squeezing it, it's working your forearms. The most important grip for Strongman is holding onto bars. So when I advise people with grip training, that's the basis of what you're going to do, is strengthen, try and get strong at things you need to get strong at. If you want to be a good bench presser, you need to bench. If you want a strong grip on a farmer's walk, you need to hold farmer's walks, basically. So I often get people doing various different kind of holds, either behind the back. If you do a barbell hold behind the back, it stops you resting it against your quads, so it puts it all on the grip. 160 kilos behind the back for 20 seconds is pretty tough. And I try to do sets of 3 for, I might go heavier and heavier than that, but a set time for 20 seconds. Or I might go lighter and try and hold for as long as possible for 1 set. Same with farmer's holds. Might be going for a heavy grip 1 week where you're just holding it for a set time. Even if it's 10 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever you kind of decided is going to be your work time for that training session. And then I chuck in a lighter hold for time. But the most kind of important thing I found for grip training, holding onto bars, you need strong fingers, but more importantly, you need a strong thumb. So your thumb has to clamp in. I've shown kind of, I think in my other video with the farmer's walk, I was showing you how to clamp the thumb into the fingers. But you need to get the thumb strong so that it really presses down hard. And the one exercise I'd recommend for getting that kind of strength better is either the two-handed pinch grip or even the one-handed pinch grip. There's an apparatus you can get that's adjustable, so you can make it any thickness, so it doesn't really matter what size your hands are. If you look on David Horn's website, you can find these. And you squeeze the bar, the kind of plates as hard as possible. You try and lift the weight off the floor. And it works the thumb, okay? It's all about squeezing as hard as you can with that thumb. And I found getting my pinch grip stronger has helped my farmer's holds or Hercules holds and various different grip events in Strongman. But you don't need that equipment as well. You can do it in a gym. You can just chuck a bar into a corner, put 2 20-kilo plates so the smooth sides are on the outside. A little bit of chalk on your hands and then squeeze, stand up, hold it for a few seconds, put it down. I think at one point I had the British record on the 200 pinch. I'm not sure if that's still the case. I haven't really focused on grip competitions for a long time, but it is something I might try and get back into in a few years. But doing those, if you can do 2 20-kilo plates in either hand, your thumb strength is pretty good, and then I should imagine you'd be able to hold on some serious weight. Thank you for all the questions, guys. I'm really enjoying getting these questions and answering them for you. Keep sending them through. If you wanted to look at some more kind of information or find out more about me, look on my website down below or my Facebook page, and just keep sending your questions through and liking the page. Thank you.